what's up? It's Julie. I'm a lawyer and a former top law student and lecturer in communication studies. And today we're going to be looking at the tort of trespass. I define trespass as an unjustified, intentional physical intrusion upon land possessed by another. So if we break that down into two elements, the first element that you need is a deliberate and intentional act. So that means you need to deliberately enter someone else's property or deliberately cause some of your property to enter someone else's property. But that doesn't mean you deliberately need to know that you're trespassing. So for example, in the case Smith and Stone, there was no trespass because the person in that case was physically picked up and thrown onto the land. So there was no intentional action by the person who trespassed to go onto the land. However, if someone does enter someone else's land and they didn't realize it was private property, like for example, if you're going for a walk in the park and you stumble upon someone else's property, you are liable for trespass because you deliberately walked onto that land. The second element is that it needs to be someone else's land. You can either be the owner of the land to sue in trespass, or you can also possess the land, so you can be a lessor. Remembering that land can also be anything above the physical land, so the airspace, and anything below the land, so the earth underneath the land. In the Bacado and Star Energy case, Star Energy was drilling under Bacado's land, and Bacado didn't even realize for so long, but eventually Bacado found out and he sued them for trespass, and the action was upheld because even though it was so far down into the ground on Bacado's land, it was still held that if you own land, you own what they say is everything up to the heavens and everything down to hell. But there is a cap in the air, so you can only have as high up in the air as is reasonably necessary for you to use. So basically that's stopping airplanes from constantly trespassing over your land if they fly over you. That comes from the case Baron Bernstein from 1978. So in that case, I think they were trying to sue aircraft for flying above the land, and the courts held that no, you only own as far as you want, as you can use for your reasonable enjoyment on your property. One defense to trespass is consent. So if you give actual consent or implied consent through your words or conduct, and someone enters your property under that condition, then they are not trespassing. For example, in Tort and the Crown, someone walked up to the front door and it was held that that's not trespass because it's reasonably expected that people will walk up to your front door. So yes, they were technically coming onto your land, but that was actually, you've given implied consent by the fact that you own a house, you have a pathway up to the door. Everyone gives implied consent in the society that someone can walk up and knock on their door. Another defense to trespass is necessity. So if someone is dying and you just need to get onto someone else's property to pull them off and save them, you may have a defense to trespass. Another defense is statutory authority. So if you're legally allowed to enter the land for some reason, then that's fine too. Maybe if you're a police officer and you get a search warrant that legally lets you into someone else's land, then that wouldn't be trespass. Trespass is what you call actionable per se, and what that means is, unlike most torts or other areas of civil law, you don't actually need to show any damage to get compensation. So the fact that someone entered your property is damage enough. They've intruded on your private space and the law says that itself has caused you damage. For your remedies for trespass, you can have the self-help remedy. So that is expelling people or forcing them off your land. But you can't use too much force, only the force that would be reasonable in that situation. You can get an injunction, so if someone is continually trespassing on your land, you could get an injunction to stop them from doing that. For example, a Quia timet injunction that can be granted if someone is threatening to commit trespass on your land but they haven't done it yet. You can actually get an injunction or a court order stopping them from doing the thing that they're threatening to do. And of course you can get damages, which is money. But if there's no real harm caused by the trespass, you might not get much money. So it might be what they call damages in name or nominal damages. But like I said, trespass is actionable per se, so you don't need to prove loss to action the trespass. As well as being a tort, trespass is also a criminal offence. So if you go to the Trespass Act 1980, section 3, subsection 1, it states that every person commits an offence who trespasses on any place after being warned to leave by the occupier and refuses to leave. So thinking about, you've got the civil law and the criminal law, the government would come after you in relation to pursuing the criminal law, but if you're an individual person and you want to sue someone else and get some compensation, then you can sue them for tort. That is trespass in a nutshell. Like this video if you enjoyed this, or subscribe for more content. You can also buy my personal study notes for this subject. Just check out my website, which is linked below. Thanks for watching. Bye.